up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard youth wolf, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone, man. Today, we've got trade targets, man. We got our own, just for the Fantasy Red Zone, trade computer. So, hey, man, we know exactly what it's going to take. Real-life trades going on right now with our trade targets, with our trade away targets. All right? We also have some news, man. There's some crazy shit going on right now. I couldn't believe what I was reading, Jason, just a minute ago. Share that with you in a second, man. But before we get into either of those things, this show needs help. We need help. Blink twice. I think that was twice, Jason. Please tell the public how they can help this show.
Yeah, if you guys can smash a like. If you're new to the channel, if you could please subscribe. It pushes us out to more computers, more phones. We're also on the radio, on Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And then we got a thank you button on all of our videos. And, yes, there's still a Discord that I am in for the show. If y'all want to talk, I'm in there. All right, thank you.
Jason, I was just telling you, Patrick Surtain is out 2 to 4 weeks. No, or was it 4 to 6 weeks? God dang it. I have to find it. 4 to 6 weeks, dog. So, hey, IR is coming for Patrick Surtain. That defense, dude, benefits so much from having one side of the field locked down. I'm interested to see how Denver still does. I mean, they have an amazing pass rush still, but look for that defense to take a small step back, and don't be afraid to start your number one wide receivers, Jason, against Denver moving forward.
Yeah, I think their other cornerback leads the league in pass interference calls. I want to say Moss is his name. But yeah, so he's like super aggressive. So
he's like super aggressive.
Attack!
Yes. I don't have your face on the screen, so all of a sudden just somebody
yelling at you.
My dog's trying to bite me.
The dog heard me. The dog heard me.
Hey, speaking of dogs, Jason, Michael Carter got me 18 fantasy points one week, and then I did not start him again. He was released by the Cardinals. They picked up, the next week, they're like, hey, we're going to start Bam Knight, Adam Schefter reported, and I was released. So, hey, Trey Benson should be coming back soon, but Bam Knight, Jason, is probably going to be worth holding on to for a while, and maybe even flex worthy, even with Trey Benson there.
Yeah, remember Michael Carter got a standing ovation when they gave him the contract?
3 weeks later. Hold the phone. 3 weeks later.
And then I hope he got a handshake on the way out, at least. Or a pat on the back.
Don't let the door hit you. Yeah.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Carter!
Carter! Oh, you want up here? Come on. Hey, Jason, Tony Pollard reportedly available for trade. Tyjae Spears was one of our trade targets last week. So, hey, maybe the Cardinals will pick up Tony Pollard, Jason, or something like that. Maybe the Chiefs. Somebody can do it for cheap-ish. So how do you feel about Tony Pollard on a different team?
I mean, yeah, it would be better than playing for the Titans, for sure.
Dude, sorry, I'm watching the baseball game. Freddie Freeman's the slowest dude alive. But It's okay. Totally. I'm not so drunk. That's all I'm going to talk about, Jason, is the baseball game. I drank way too much on Friday. All right, man. So, did you see something that you need to address?
No.
Okay. I'm going to start sharing stuff with you guys, all right? It's going to be a document that I created myself. Hey.
I'm sorry, Tyler. For some reason, I thought you asked me that question for something else. Did you hear anything about Saquon Barkley's groin injury?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I should have figured that in. That was first news this morning it is not believed to be serious. So Tank Bigsby, I still would pick up just in case, but it looks like it's not, you're not to spend the fab that you should, or you would have had Saquon even missed 1 week. All right. All right, dude. First trade target to me, Jason. Christian Watson. All right. Him and Jordan Love have some kind of weird connection, man. And even when Christian Watson was with Aaron Rodgers, he's still he always caught touchdowns, I feel like. Whenever he's healthy, he is almost worth starting, man. And here in his first game back, he had four receptions on 4 targets. That rapport, dude. I don't understand it between him and Jordan Love, but they have it. For 85 yards, and that was the most out of all the wide receivers for the Packers, man. 2 100-yard receiving games last year with Jordan Love. And then injuries. versus Carolina, versus Philadelphia, and then at the Giants. 2 of those 3 matchups are all right. Carolina is a tougher matchup than you would think, even though they just got blown out, dude. The offense needs to do something. Yeah, that's actually a really good matchup for Christian Watson as well. So right now, man, I mean, I know you only have 1 week sample size, but I was trying to pick this guy up in my leagues, and I actually tried to trade for this guy in a couple of my leagues before this game. So Christian Watson, I still think is a buy. Only 4 targets, but he caught all of them for 85 yards. So if you're in full PPR, that's a lot of fantasy points. But if not, Jason, I think you could get him for cheap.
Yeah, I got him for cheap, $0.
Damn it!
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, mine as well. Why not? I'm not spending anything on him. I'm just gonna put him on my bench, see how he does, and I tell you what, I like what I saw. Okay. Trades. Tyrone Tracy, Christian Watson for Brian Thomas.
Oh, I'd rather have Christian Watson and Tyrone Tracy now, man.
Yeah,
because I wonder if that's before Scadaboo's foot fell off.
Yeah, it happened today. So that's kind of a crazy trade. Okay.
I mean, hey, Tyrone Tracy, I was thinking about putting on this trade for, but he was already in the waiver wire and some other stuff. But Tyrone Tracy, if you can go trade for him, it's gonna be the cheapest you're gonna get him. I do not think he is the difference maker back that Scadaboo was. I think he's gonna be more of a low end running back too.
Yeah, R.I.P. Scadaboo, man. Got to pour one out for the homies on that one. That one sucked. Okay, Christian Watson, Zach Charbonnet.
That is interesting because Zach Charbonnet probably getting 50% of the snaps over there. I think I would take What'd you say?
You're right, 50% of the snaps, but 100% of the goal line carries.
I know, and I'm like, dude, because he is the goal line back there. I think I would take that over that. Sorry, Kareem Hunt, Jason, with a touchdown.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they're going to run Rashard Smith at all. Rashee Rice, only 2 targets.
Rice got it down to the 1-inch line.
Did he really?
Yep. They even said it was a touchdown, reviewed it, then Kareem Hunt came in.
You know what? Is it on ESPN tonight?
Yeah, it's Monday Night Football.
That's what I thought. Man, I guess I don't... Anyways, I can watch it on my phone after this, and that's it. All right. Yeah. Oh, Jason, do you have a buy?
Last one. What'd you do? Christian Watson, Woody Marks.
Dude, I'd rather have Woody Marks, Jason. But I think it's because I was force-fed that Houston game, and I was like, damn, Houston's a contender, man. Look at these guys. And Woody Marks, dude, he's got he's averaging 14 fantasy points a game, man, as a running back over the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We'll talk about him in a minute. So I would go with the running back over the wide receiver right now. But as far as cheap wide receivers, dude, I'm surprised you can get Woody Marks for that cheap.
Okay.
All right, dude. Do you have a buy, Jason?
You want me to go? Yes. Jaylen Warren.
Oh, yeah.
Give
I know.
me,
I was thinking about putting him as one, too.
Let me just type in his name right here real quick, and then I'll tell you these ultimate notes I have. Okay, so Jaylen Warren, I have him down. So, versus the Packers, he had a 72% carry share. Week before versus the Bengals, he had an 80% carry share. 8 targets combined from the last 2 games. He's averaging close to 17 opportunities a game. He is the clear number 1 for the Steelers. And he has a 55% of the goal line carries inside the 5-yard line. So, yeah, he's the number 1 running back, and he's getting the goal line opportunities. But what I liked when I was watching this game, I liked what I saw from the Steelers' offensive line. They average a 3.1 yards before contact versus that Packers defensive line, and that is really good. You don't usually see numbers that high when it comes for yards before contact, especially against the Packers D. So I take that as a sign that they are improving. And then the Steelers, they actually have the 4th easiest running back schedule rest of the year. They play the Ravens twice, the Bills, the Bears, the Dolphins, and the Bengals, who have given up back-to-back 125 rushing yards to running back. Oh, and one of them was Jaylen Warren just 2 weeks ago. So I'm not saying go crazy and spend a lot on him, but I think if you have a chance to get this guy, he could be RB2 high flex, I believe, going forward because the schedule is just so easy.
Yeah, 13 plus touches every game played this season. That is a good floor for Jaylen Warren, especially as a pass catching back there. And then Miami, Jason, you said they play him twice. He gets to play him in the first week of the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I am looking for Jaylen Warren after a 9 fantasy point game and that injury. You could probably still get him for relatively cheap for a running back too. That's a good call. What are some trades, dog?
Okay, so people are doing T. Higgins for Jaylen Warren.
Woo! You know what? That's pretty fair because Joe Flacco now. But I would rather have Jaylen Warren just because of the running back landscape this year. So I think they're the same tier as far as, relative position. But, I am valuing running backs more than wide receivers right now, especially ones that catch passes.
I don't know, man. I think I was sick. T. Higgins had 1 target.
It was a 40-yard touchdown?
It was a 40-yard touchdown, yeah.
I'm just like, dude, I want a piece of that Joe Flacco throwing the shit out of it for 7 more games.
It's so crazy. They showed, oh man, I wish I would have saved it, but they showed a stat, and it was just like crazy how Joe Flacco targeted Chase like 19 times last week's game, and then everybody else was like 3, 4, and then T. Higgins 1. I was like,
yeah,
oh my God.
So you're looking for the touches, 13 plus touches every game. We're gonna have T. Higgins, who, if he didn't catch that touchdown, would have had a terrible week. So that's probably a good call, Jason. No T. Higgins.
Would you do Cortland Sutton for Jaylen Warren?
I was watching that game, dude. I quit watching that game because I was going against Bo Nix, but Cortland Sutton could have had a lot more points than he even got. And how many points did he get?
I don't know.
I'll tell you right now.
Okay, because I know he had a touchdown.
He only had 10. He only had 10 fantasy points.
Yeah.
That's
surprising. He got a touchdown,
dude.
But there was a penalty. And then the very next play, he dropped a touchdown, and that was pretty much
what? I would take Cortland Sutton, especially with the way that Bo Nix is playing over the last 2 weeks. I know that Troy Franklin is who I was pushing in the beginning of the year, and I had a cut, and now you have him, right?
No, I had to drop him because of my buys and
that's what I did.
And all that.
Well, I couldn't.
Go back and look at Troy Franklin, dude, because in the last 2 games he's had like 10 plus targets.
Yeah,
he's playing pretty well. I almost put him on this for a buy.
You know what? I would rather have Jaylen Warren over Cortland Sutton, Jason. You're right. Running backs, man. Running backs.
Okay. This one might be. Let's do this one though. Let's do last one. Roma Dunze, Jaylen Warren.
God, man, that's tough. Like crazy upside. But I'd rather go Jaylen Warren because, dude, the way that Caleb Williams has been playing, we'll talk about this in a minute, is not good. He's getting worse, Jason. Worse. We probably saw the best of Roma Dunze.
Yeah, his expected pass rate over expected, if I can say it right, is actually dropping after the first 4 weeks.
Oh.
It's like in the negatives now. So they're trying to run the ball a lot more. You know what, though? It's crazy. He did have like a crazy badass throw to DJ Moore. I don't know if you saw it. It was like awesome. Yeah. They're like, that's why you drafted him. But everything else, the other 25 attempts was god awful.
I know. All right, Jason. On to another buy, okay? Jauan Jennings. I thought that Ricky Pearsall or Jauan Jennings was going to be a league winner. I just went with health, right, Jason? Because that's what I usually do. I mean, I don't want to draft an injured player. That's what Jauan Jennings was. But it looks like, Ricky Pearsall got injured, more injured than Jauan Jennings. And now Jauan Jennings has played 2 weeks in a row, relatively healthy-ish. 8 fantasy points this week, 4 receptions on 7 targets. So we led the team on targets. It's exactly what you're looking for. That was a weird game. I had to watch it. The 49ers could not do anything. I don't know if it's because DeMeco Ryans was their ex-defensive coordinator. Is one of those like Bill Belichick going to the Lions and getting beat by Matt Patricia type of shit. I have no idea. But I do think that the 49ers offense will perform much better going forward. And as far as targets, Jason, he's had a target share of 30.4% and a 22.6% over his last 2 games. And then I was worried about Kendrick Bourne after having a target share of 23% and 24%. In weeks 5 and 6, he's been at 9 and 13% over the last 2 weeks. So Kendrick Bourne's now an afterthought. 7 targets again in each of the last 2. And then I went and I checked to see, if Shanahan said anything about Brock Purdy. All he said is it's not a long shot for Purdy to play week 9. Who knows what that means? But as soon as Purdy comes back, Jauan Jennings will be even more valuable. And guess what, man? They've got Tennessee week 15. So the first week of playoffs, probably with Brock Purdy, Jason, against Tennessee. over the next 3 games, the Giants, who are going to be reeling, the Rams and Arizona. The Rams just did get another cornerback, but it was Tennessee's like worst cornerback. We'll see how that works for him.
Hey, do you remember that movie called like they had that machine that was supposed to crack the code, the German code?
It's not Hellboy, is it? It's Enigma or like a Q.
It's like imagine it's
the
that
Q machine. It's the Q
with cucumber in it.
Cumberbatch
was in it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
my
Enigma
God.
code?
It was like something like that, right? You're going to need that to try to decipher what Kyle Shanahan says about his injuries. Anyways, all right. Would you do Jackson Dart for Jauan
Jennings?
Jennings, sorry.
I would rather have... Dude, the way the quarterbacks are right now, because I was talking about trading, I'd probably rather have... Jackson Dart's going to get even more rushing touchdowns now, Jason. So give me Jackson Dart. I know it sucks, but I like Jackson Dart.
Okay. He did have a rushing touchdown after Scaboo went out, too. What about... Well, what's an actual good one here? I mean, it seems like right now the hot topic is Woody Marks. What about for Woody Marks?
I'd rather have Jauan Jennings. I think Jauan Jennings is going to start blowing up. I mean, this offense has not produced even Kendrick Bourne, man, was getting those 120 yards. That's going to be Jauan Jennings. Jauan Jennings is crazy. And to start the season off, man, like I was a Ricky Pearsall owner. I am a Ricky Pearsall owner. Everything was going to Jauan Jennings. So even if Ricky Pearsall comes back, Jauan Jennings is going to be the man as long as he stays healthy. So we'll see how that goes. But I'd still probably take Jauan Jennings.
What about for Tyrone Tracy?
So I would rather have Tyrone Tracy over Jauan Jennings because he has a top 10 potential for a running back. I think he's going to be a running back too, but his ceiling is top 10 running back because he did it for like 3 weeks last year. So I'm going to chase that, but Jauan Jennings will still be, I think he's going to be an awesome flex moving forward.
All right, on to the next.
Next trade, Jason, do you have another buy?
No, that is it.
All right, here we go. Emeka Egbuka, 6 fantasy points, Jason. 3 receptions on 9 targets. So he's still getting a ton of targets. That led the team for 35 yards, man, versus New Orleans. So he was injured still, kind of coming off that. Hasn't scored double-digit fantasy points in 3 straight games. He did, however, hit a 37.5% target share this last week. That's insane, man. We're talking about Jamar Chase type, Chris Olave type shit, which was a season high. So, Jason, over the last 3 weeks or games that he has played in, 4 fantasy points, 9 fantasy points, and 6 fantasy points. And he's going on a bye, man, this next week. Then he's got to go against New England and Buffalo. New England's going to be tough, but Buffalo will be good. So, Jason, owners are looking at the bye. They see those last 3 weeks. If you could get Emeka Egbuka right now for the finals run, I would try to do that.
How do you feel about him when Chris Godwin comes back?
Man, Chris Godwin, I still like Egbuka. Like Egbuka was going to be that number 1 role. Godwin's going to go into the slot, which is great. But even he's going to be coming off an injury anyways, man. So
yeah,
it should be Egbuka will be the most targeted wide receiver on that team. And by the end of it, Baker Mayfield should be playing better soon. But we'll talk about that in 1 second too.
Okay, so we got here. It's a. Would you do Emeka for Garrett Wilson?
You know what? I would rather have. The Jets are such a clusterfuck, man.
I know.
I would rather have Emeka Egbuka, Jason, over Garrett Wilson.
I don't blame you. What about? Would you do Emeka Egbuka, Javonte Williams for Jahmyr Gibbs?
Ooh, that and Javonte. Egbuka and Javonte for Jahmyr Gibbs. As a Jahmyr Gibbs owner, I'm like, dude, because I like Javonte Williams. And really, I feel like other than, Gibbs has been really special for 1 game? Javonte's running back 5. Dude, I think I would take Egbuka and Javonte Williams, Jason.
No, I think I would keep that too.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I didn't think I'd be talking about a Jahmyr Gibbs trade.
What about Emeka Egbuka for Derrick Henry?
I'd rather have. It depends on what I need, man. But I think Derrick Henry is a safer bet right now because he's healthy. I think I'd go with Derrick Henry, Jason. Even though, yeah, I mean, I'd rather do the Jahmyr Gibbs trade, but yeah, I think I would do. I think I would take Henry over Egbuka. I think, Jason.
Henry should be doing better next week when well, actually he had 2 touchdowns this past week. But Lamar Jackson should be back.
Yeah. All right, and then real quick, I own Baker Mayfield. He only scored 4 fantasy points, dude. 152 yards and a fumble. He failed to throw a touchdown pass against the Saints in Week 8. He also didn't rush for a touchdown. That's the first time that's happened since Week 18 in 2023. 15 total fantasy points over the last 2 games, and he's going into a bye. So real quick, if you need a quarterback, put in trades for Baker Mayfield. All right, I hate him right now. I hate him with a passion. Because whenever I start him, he does bad, and whenever I don't start him, he goes off. It's him or Daniel Jones. Which one do you want to take, Jason? So I'm just saying, right now you can get Baker Mayfield super cheap, and he will be playing better.
Okay. Would you do Baker Mayfield or Jackson Dart?
Give me Jackson Dart, dude. Give me that rushing floor. Because right now Baker Mayfield could literally score 4 fantasy points when I need a win.
Yeah. What about Baker Mayfield, Jaylen Warren?
I would take Jude. I'd trade him for Jaylen Warren today.
Baker Mayfield, Terry McLaurin. He just scored a touchdown, McLaurin.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
All right. I think I'd probably rather go McLaurin then, if that's gonna. But that was with Mariota, dude. That team is so jacked too, man. I would keep Baker Mayfield over Terry McLaurin until I need to see a little bit more from McLaurin.
All right. Yeah, I was watching that game, the Buccaneers Saints game, dude. The number one strength the Saints had against the Buccaneers was that the 99-yard line or the goal line.
Yeah.
They could not score. It was like, I think they were like 7 out of 8. No. What do I say? They scored once out of 8 times on the goal line, the 1-yard line. It was crazy to watch. That was a crazy game, dude, for the Bucs.
Baker Mayfield, dude. Well, it's a divisional game, and every once in a while, man, these divisional games get nuts. So,
yep.
But I was gonna start. It was him or Daniel Jones, and I was like, man, well, Daniel Jones. I mean, that's a divisional game too, and they're just gonna dominate. I thought Daniel Jones was not gonna get that many passing touchdowns. But anyways, Jason. So next, we've got shit. I need to get through these real quick, Jason. I just listed a bunch. I shouldn't do this. Because these are buy highs right now. Like Jaylen Waddle, 20 fantasy points, 5 to 6 targets for 99 yards and a touchdown. He's averaging 16 fantasy points per game without Tyreek Hill, and that's with an outing of just 2.5 points. So 95 plus receiving yards in 3 of the last 4 games. Only 2 fantasy points last week versus Cleveland. He gets Baltimore, Buffalo, and Washington. So two of those three matchups are going to be positive. I do like Jaylen Waddle if somebody wants to get rid of him. But again, you're paying up for him. And then let's see.
Do you want me to do the trades for these?
I can just keep on going. Do we have time?
What are we at? We're at the 25-minute mark.
I'll just keep on going.
Okay.
Chase Brown, Jason, 25 points because the buy highs. You know what you're gonna have to do to get those people. 12 rushes for 73 yards, a touchdown, dude. I went against Chase Brown this week. It was awesome. He still has not hit a 10% target share with Joe Flacco under center, but is averaging 9.4 fantasy points per game across the first 4 games of the season, and now he's averaging 14.6. And I did the math myself, Jason. He's averaging 7 yards a carry since Flacco got there, only 2.8 yards per carry before that, so it has changed his efficiency like a ton. That's the biggest thing there. And then he gets Chicago, and then a bye, and then Pittsburgh, so Chicago is going to score a lot of points. You might need to wait. I don't know, dude. If you can just try to get Chase Brown while people still don't believe, I would try to do that. Ooh, okay. I only have 2 more. Woody Marks, 14 fantasy points, Jason. Nick Chubb played 3 more snaps than Woody Marks in Week 8, but Marks ran 8 more routes, and he's averaging 15 fantasy points per game over his last 4 outings. I did not believe that until I went back and looked at it. He's had 10% target share in 3 of those 4 games, 13 plus touches in 3 of the last 4. versus Denver. That's a terrible matchup, but then Jacksonville and Tennessee. So 2 of 3 matchups. Maybe wait 1 week for Denver to smother them, and then try to trade for Woody Marks, Jason. And lastly, what's up?
1 second. I'm going to add to that one a little bit, okay?
What's up?
So on the season, Woody, 3.75 yards per carry, which is 31st out of 40 running backs, 5.3% explosive rate, which is 15th, and 38.6% success rate, which is 39th. And he's 0.05 missed cycles forced per attempt. That's actually 40th.
So his metrics suck, is what you're telling me.
They kind of do. But the thing is, the Chubb is worse.
Right. And I was watching that game, and Woody Marks looks good when you're watching him live. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, Nick Chubb's explosive rate is 2.5%, which is 33rd overall. So
Holy shit.
it's crazy.
Yeah. And then lastly, Jason, real quick, Stefon Diggs, man, you can still get for cheap 3 receptions on 5 targets for 14 yards on a touchdown. Dude, he's averaging 29.5% target share per game over his last 5 games with the Drake May. You'd think that would be so much. It's only 14.2 fantasy points per game. He's only averaging 36 reception yards per game since his back-to-back 100-yard games. So I think it's like 3 games. He's got 36 receiving yards in. So right now, you can get him for super cheap and hope the Drake May just goes nuclear in the second half. Versus Atlanta, that's not a good matchup, man. Atlanta has D. Alford or whatever. He's playing one of the best. He's as one of the best cornerbacks right now in the league. But then you get Tampa Bay and the Jets. So maybe you have to wait 1 week, or you could still wait 1 more week. But if you could try to trade for Stefon Diggs, that's what I would do.
Tampa Bay and the Jets.
Jets. All right, Jason, you want to give me a sell, and I'll just move mine down.
Okay, I'll look to.
Okay.
Khalil Shakir. Oh man.
He had one of the best cornerback matchups this week. I'm pretty sure.
He did have one of the best.
I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. 6 receptions, 88 yards, 1 touchdown on 7 targets, 20 points versus Carolina. Sees a high on yards and tied with Week 5 with 6 receptions. I think we just saw his ceiling for the year because he's 34th in target share. Not good. 18th in red zone targets. I mean, that's decent, but target share in the end zone, Tyler, is 0%.
I believe
Josh
it.
Allen doesn't target Shakir in the end zone. Allen has more rushing attempts inside the 10 than passing attempts on the year. And when he does throw the ball to the end zone, it is to Keon Coleman with a 19% end zone target share. Plus, Shakir's touchdown was from 54 yards out, and I don't see that happening again. So the Bills have the 3rd hardest wide receiver schedule moving forward. Shakir is wide receiver 35 in points per game and gets around like 12. But I would try to use his best game of the year to invest in something more explosive moving forward.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I really like Shakir.
I did too.
I wish I would have ranked him higher on my pre-draft rankings, Jason.
I think we just got the best of him last week.
Oh, dude, 23 points. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And even if you look at his targets, man, it's like 7, 5, 9, 5, 4. This guy needs a lot of targets most of the time.
Yeah. So, and that's all the reason why he's able to get like 10 points a game, but this guy just does not get in the end zone that much. He's not targeted in the end zone at all. So
yeah, and we're going to talk about Josh Allen in a minute because they're not playing the same, man. And they're not throwing the ball that much, so they're running the shit out of it. So it makes a difference.
Okay, would you do Shakir for Dallas Goedert?
Let's see, man. I know he caught 2 touchdowns. Every time Goddard, man, he's like a roller coaster. He's either scoring 20 points or 2 points. Let me see. Let me make sure I know what I'm talking about. Oh, 17. Dude, I'd take Goedert. He's got actually double-digit points every single – his last 3 games, Jason, 27, 4, 17. But it's like 10, 19, 10, 11. A.J. Brown with his hamstring, Jason. Yeah, I think I'd go Goedert, even though he only had 3 targets last game and 3 targets the game before that.
What about for Matthew Golden?
I would take Khalil Shakir, Jason, because again, I like Christian Watson. So I think Christian Watson's going to eat into that golden apple.
What about Wan'Dale Robinson?
Wan'Dale or Shakir? Because I think Wan'Dale had a bad matchup, right? Oh, yeah. Versus Cooper DeJean. That's one of the worst matchups. I think I would rather have Wandell, Jason. Their last 3 matchups, Jason, with Jackson Dart. Wandell's had 20, 15, and 7, and that's versus Philadelphia with Cooper DeJean, Denver, and Philadelphia with Cooper DeJean. So 3 of the best secondaries he's probably going to face this year. I'd go with Wandell. I bet she starts blowing up, man. San Francisco, Chicago, Green Bay. Yeah.
Would you say it was because of the matchup or that Darius Slayton returned?
Yeah, because Darius Slayton did return, but no, it was the matchup, dude. Cooper DeJean has one of the fewest amount of fantasy points allowed this year. And
the last time they went up against each other, I think he had like 20 points.
Yeah, I know. But hey, you can't do it. There's still. I don't believe you're gonna do it twice. Well, one was home, one was away. Maybe that was the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were at Philadelphia this time. I was thinking they're gonna play better at home. Because those Philadelphia, they're so emotional. Those, whatever. You know what? I thought it was gonna be a revenge game. I thought I talked about this. Saquon was gonna get a bunch of yards, and Philadelphia was gonna smash.
We still do revenge games, even though it's like a year later, and they already played.
Well, this just happened, man. Like Philadelphia they just lost to the Giants.
Oh, you mean like a revenge game from like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, because Scatterboo had like all those yards, man, and Saquon had like nothing.
I got you.
So it was a very current revenge game, Jason. All right, here we go.
The bed was even cold.
Yeah, sorry, Kyle Pitts. All right, I was like, hey, man, this guy did really well with just what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? Kirk Cousins, man, going in there. But this fool has what, 9 targets this week and then 10 targets last week. So with both quarterbacks, this fool's had like 9+ targets over the last 2 weeks. He had 14 fantasy points, 9 receptions on 9 targets, 59 yards versus Miami. It was Miami. He led all Falcons with a 30% target share on Sunday. Now, London was out, Jason. He's seen 30% and 28% shares over the last 2 games. His 2 highest target shares dating back week 13. Anyways, that's the best target shares he's had since week 13, 2023. So not even last year. And let's see, 13 plus fantasy points in 3 of the last 4. Now he has to go against 2 really good defenses coming up at New England and then at Indianapolis. Those are 2 really tough matchups. I do not like that. So I would try to get rid of them, especially like when the coaches were ex-linebackers, they usually play tight ends better. I always think about D'Amico Ryans and whatever I'm trying to think of. But anyways, Jason, I would try to trade away Kyle Pitts after his back-to-back good weeks.
Yeah, and side note, do not start Darnell Mooney if Drake London.
Dude, I was hoping he was on the waiver wire. I was like, I've got the start of the week.
No, I thought I had start of the week. 2 points. 2 points.
It's like, Jason, who did I start, man? I started Baker Mayfield with 4 points. I got Jordan Mason with 1 point. I got Jake Ferguson with 0 points. And then my defense scored 1 point against Chicago versus Baltimore.
Oh, damn.
I've never seen that before with so many busts in one roster. It was insane. All right.
What about, so Kyle Pitts for Rico Dowdle.
Oh, man. On the news, I almost read it. Chuba Hubbard was like, hey, we love Chuba Hubbard, but I have to acknowledge that Rico's been like exceptional or something. He was just saying, Dave Canales was just saying some stuff that's going to make me think that Rico Dowdle is going to start getting a lot more touches again, Jason. I go Rico Dowdle this week.
Yeah, but I think there was talk about him finally getting moved into the starter role, which means more series.
Yeah, there you go.
Kyle Pitts or Kayshon Boutte.
Kyle Pitts or Kayshon Boutte. I do like Kayshon Boutte man, that's a close one. I do like that. I'd probably go Boutte. He's got 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, but his target share sucks.
Yeah.
I'd rather be part of Drake May than whatever's going on in Atlanta right now.
Kyle Pitts or Tony Pollard.
I would go if Tony Pollard was actually getting traded, I would trade for Tony Pollard right now. How do you feel about that?
No, that's fine. I mean, the Titans suck, dude. They suck. If he could go to a team that can actually play well, put some points on the board, then yeah, he has a chance to play good for the rest of the year.
Jason, I need you to tell me if I'm crazy or not for this next person, all right?
I already see it. I'm already...
Josh Allen, and my thought process here is I would trade away Josh Allen to get Jackson Dart and a running back or something. 25 fantasy points. That's great, dude. I did not think he was going to score 20 fantasy points this week. He threw the ball 19 times for 163 yards and a touchdown. He only ran the ball 3 times, but he got 2 rushing touchdowns on those 3 carries, Jason. That's the only thing that's making this even. Why we're not throwing up in our mouths right now versus Carolina. So he had a respectable, 23.2 fantasy points during standard against the Panthers, but he's still averaging fewer than 20 points per game since week 1. 22 plus fantasy points in 4 of 7. So I do like that, but in those other 3 games, man, it's like not good at all. And now he has to go against Kansas City, which, hey, that's great usually, but Kansas City's defense is playing crazy. I mean, you told me that what's his name just caught a touchdown, Jason, Terry McLaurin. So maybe Kansas City can still give up some points. And then Miami and Tampa Bay. But the problem is, Jason, his playoff schedule at New England, at Cleveland versus Philadelphia for the championship. So 2 terrible matchups as far as I'm concerned. And then Philadelphia, who knows what they're going to be playing like by then with those cornerbacks. So if you think that you are going to be making playoffs and you have Josh Allen, I would trade him away and stock up elsewhere. Try to get yourself a Jackson Dart, or maybe even start looking which quarterbacks has the best playoff schedules and just play matchups that way, dude. Because Josh Allen, he really, he might get 40 points every once in a while, but against New England, Cleveland, and Philadelphia, probably not. Even though if there's snow on the ground, he might do it. But other than the snow games, I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of that playoff schedule, Jason.
Yeah, I like this. This kind of gives me the feel of last week when I was talking about Trey McBride, where now you're preparing for the playoffs, and you got a chance to get like 2 players for this guy. And it's like, if you got Jackson Darts, dude, I'm happy with that. I was just buying him last week.
Yeah.
I like it, Tyler. Okay. Here we go. Okay. What do you think of this? Josh Allen for Joe Flacco, AJ Brown.
Josh Allen for Joe Flacco and AJ Brown. Shit. That's crazy. I wish if AJ Brown wasn't injured, I'd be like, yeah, all right. I probably would keep Josh Allen, Jason, for those 2.
I know which way you're going to go for this one. Josh Allen or Matthew Stafford, Trey McBride.
I'd have to go. How long is Puka out for? The year, right? No. Ankle sprain, right?
They're already saying he's going to be back next week. I got a notification today.
Dude, every time I think that Matthew Stafford is like trustworthy, he sucks. I'm waiting for him to start sucking again. I probably would have to keep Josh Allen, Jason, because I need my quarterback to be around 20 points, 18, 20 points. And I just don't trust Matthew Stafford. I just don't do it.
All right, that makes this a little bit more difficult.
Oh.
What about wow, some of these trades are not even fair. Would you do okay, what about Josh Allen for Ladd McConkey and Davion Achane?
Josh Allen for Ladd McConkey and Achane? I would do that in a heartbeat, Jason.
Yeah, Achane's not getting enough love this year, and I don't know why, bro. I don't know why.
No matter what, I have to watch those games. Every time he touches the ball, he does not look spectacular, but he just goes, man. He averages 7 yards a carry, and will get a receiving touchdown every game.
It's good stuff. Yeah. All right, next.
All right, Nick Sale, Jason. I own this dude. I hate him. Jordan Mason's bad. Hopefully there's some. If you look at his fantasy points scored, I mean, it's like, maybe I could trade for him. Only 1 fantasy point, 4 rushes for 3 yards, 1 reception for 3 yards. Aaron Jones was back at the Vikings, in week 8, and he had a 54% snap share against the Chargers. Jordan Mason was at only 35%, man. Mason's 28% route share tied a season low, which came back in week 1. So 15 plus touches and 50 plus rushing yards. And in the 4 games before this shit. So each of the 4 games before this. So if you just show that to somebody, hopefully they still think that he might, the Vikings might turn this around, Jason, but that offensive line looks so bad. I don't care, dude. I'm getting rid of Jordan Mason. At Detroit versus Baltimore and Chicago, they're going to get smoked next week. Jordan Mason's not going to get any points. So I would just try to get rid of him while I can, bundle him up, and do something with him.
Damn, I had a stat with him, but I can't seem to find it. But I think it was just saying when Aaron Jones came back that he had a higher snap count than Jordan Mason. Okay. Oh shoot, I put in the wrong Jordan. I put in Jordan Love.
Oh man, these trades are crazy.
All right,
You should
Jordan
trade away
Mason.
Jordan Mason.
Okay, would you do? We got a combo here. Jordan Mason for Keenan Allen.
I would, dude. I would try to get Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen should be a trade for me. I still like Keenan Allen, Jason.
How do you like Keenan Allen, man? You've always liked Keenan Allen, man. You got nothing wrong with Keenan Allen.
Well, it's the tight end right now that's threatening that. Somehow Lad McConkey's doing the same. It's like Quentin Johnson and Lad McConkey can't survive, but the tight end, and I don't know. We'll see how that works.
Having to try to explain that at work with people who don't really know fantasy football is very difficult.
Understand what or explain what?
Or I was like, Quentin Johnson may not perform well because the surge of the rookie tight end. And they're like, what? No. And I'm like, dude, that tight end is great, but it's messing everything up. Okay. Jordan Mason, Deebo Samuel.
Give me Deebo Samuel, man. I'll chase that again, later on because I'm not starting Jordan Mason anytime soon anyway. So what the hell? Give me the player that can do better later in the year.
Jordan Mason, Xavier Worthy.
I'd have Xavier Worthy. Last time I checked, he was leading them, and I think Kelsey was leading them in yards, but I would still take Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
Because again, Xavier Worthy is like a flex option right now. Jordan Mason ain't shit, dude. All right, Jason. Last one. Caleb Williams, 11 fantasy points. Threw the ball 38 times, and he still only got 11 fantasy points. No touchdowns and interception. Let's see, dude. His standard points weeks 1 through 3 was at 23.4. Ever since then, Jason, for 5 weeks, man, averaging 12 fantasy points a game. He's dead last in the league in completion percentage over expected. And if you look at his touchdowns and interceptions over the last 4 games, dude, 2 touchdowns. And then 3 interceptions over the last 4 games. That is insane, man. So he's been losing your weeks. You've been starting him. At Cincinnati, I love that. Versus the Giants, that's fine with me. And the Minnesota, man, they kind of suck too right now. So 3 decent matchups. But man, I don't care. Right now, Caleb Williams, this was actually his most accurate game. I think he actually threw the ball he was in the 60s as far as completion percentage. He's been like at low 50 percentage or 55%, which is terrible in the NFL. So right now, man, Jason, if I could package Caleb Williams up with Jordan Mason and get Jackson Dart, some crazy shit, that's what I'd be doing.
Well, there may be a Jackson Dart one here. Damn it, dude. I can never find these stats in time. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, wow. Okay, well, they have, this one's kind of weird. Caleb Williams for Jackson Dart and Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I would definitely do that one.
Yeah,
get Aaron Jones in for free.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Would you do Caleb Williams, Lad McConkey for Lamar Jackson?
Caleb Williams, Lad McConkey. Yeah, I would try to get Lamar Jackson for those two. Because odds are you don't have a quarterback.
Then there's a weird one. I'm not even going to do that one. Dude, that's crazy.
Okay.
Would you do Caleb Williams for Travis Hunter?
Dude, I would try to get Travis Hunter right now if I could. I mean, they said they're not going to be trading away Brian Thomas Jr., so maybe things go back to normal next week. But hey, if I could try to get Travis Hunter, I don't know. He should be a hold right now as far as one of our holds. Travis Hunter would be. Because there is a chance he blows up, or there's a chance he goes right back down to earth, and you can still probably trade him for a decent value after that one time going back down to earth. But this next game's going to tell us a lot with Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I want to know the injuries of Brian Thomas, too. I actually tried to find that today, but they didn't say much of it.
All right, Jason. Hey, that is the show. If you got any players, man, your trades that you want us to discuss, please comment down below, man. We will get there when we can. Hopefully, we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully, we earned a subscription. All right, that's exactly what what this show needs. That's what helps us the most, Jason. Please send us out.
Yes, we'll be coming up, or the video coming up after this one will be the wide receiver cornerback matchup of the week. Make sure to watch if you want to win in week 9. And then, oh man, I lost my train of thought. And then we got what? We got Vegas answers, Vegas questions, Vegas answers, whatever, man. I'm too busy also trying to watch this game. It's kind of crazy right now. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in those videos. Deuces.
This is the Fantasy Red Zone. We appreciate you.